For the first time, Vietnam has exported an African Swine Fever ASF vaccine abroad, marking a significant milestone for the country's veterinary sector. On June the 9th, Vietnamese biotech firm AVAC officially shipped 120,000 doses of its AVAC ASF LIVE Vaccine to Indonesia. This is the world's first commercially approved live attenuated vaccine for ASF, developed and produced entirely in Vietnam. Prior to this shipment, the vaccine had been widely used domestically with over 3 million doses administered and had previously been sent to the Philippines and Nigeria. The latest deal not only underscores Vietnam's growing capabilities in veterinary biotechnology, but also signals the country's emergence as a competitive player in the global animal health market. Now, by 2024, Vietnam had reduced ASF-related pig losses by more than 99%, with only around 83,000 pigs culled, based on data from the World Organization for Animal Health, WOAH. This marks a striking contrast to the nearly 6 million pigs lost during the 2019 outbreak, which is just 4 years ago, which the Ministry of Agriculture and Environment estimated to have cost around $1.2 billion in economic damage. What made such a dramatic turnaround possible? Here's how Vietnam made it happen and why it matters to millions of farmers.
Cuong, a pig farmer in a suburban area, lost his entire herd within days. At the height of the 2019 African Swine Fever outbreak, the losses were so devastating that he nearly gave up farming altogether.
All gone, 70 pigs. After that, it was only when we had the ASF vaccine that I felt safe enough to raise pigs again. Otherwise, I would have quit this job long ago.
Across Vietnam, thousands of farmers were hit hard by the disease, but many have slowly gotten back on their feet since the ASF vaccine became available. After 3 years of development, Vietnam has become the first country in the world to successfully commercialize a vaccine against African swine fever, a milestone that others have pursued for more than a century without success.
Before it got approved, we tested it on 600,000 pigs, working with the authorities. After the launch in July 2023, we did another 100 trials in 20 provinces. The pigs stayed healthy and well protected.
With ASF becoming more complex in Vietnam, we've had to keep refining the vaccination protocol and improving the vaccine's quality so it remains safe, effective, and practical for farmers.
The vaccine's impact is no longer limited to Vietnam. It's now gaining recognition abroad, with several countries showing interest.
I've got another budget in 2025, 2024 this year, 500,000, and then another one in next year. But as soon as we get the permit to commercially sell it, then the private farmers can buy it easily.
Indonesia recently approved the commercial use of AVAC's African Swine Fever vaccine, a major step that reinforces Vietnam's emergence as a global leader in veterinary science, protecting both animal health and farmers' livelihoods.
And joining us now is Dr. Nguyễn Văn Điệp, General Director of AVAC Vietnam, to share more about the company's journey in bringing Vietnamese-made vaccines to international markets. So, first of all, Dr. Nguyễn Văn Điệp, congratulations on the success of the first Vietnamese-made vaccine to export abroad. What does this mean to you and your company?
So, the event, Indonesia and Philippines imported the vaccine from Vietnam, from AVAC. This is very good news for us. This proves the vaccine produced by AVAC can over strict requirements from other countries. Because for allowing a vaccine circulate in their home country, their government have to test the vaccine very carefully. This show that AVAC vaccine can meet the international standard, and it strengthens the confidence for the Vietnam market.
Yeah, I'm sure that this success didn't come as easily as it seems. So what were the major challenges you and your team faced in the making of it?
So far, there is no international standard for ASF LIVE Vaccine issued by World Organization of Animal Health. So Vietnam, Indonesia and the Philippines have to make their own standard for the ASF vaccine. It's really a challenge for us because this is the first vaccine in the world against ASF. And that's why the farmer, the scientists, the swine practitioners in Vietnam doubt about the vaccine standard. They wonder why small Vietnamese company can make the vaccine. Even we get the approval for free circulation in Vietnam, but the officer in local governments also doubt about this vaccine, and that's why AVAC have to done a lot of the trial, a lot of model to prove the vaccine is safe and effective in Vietnam.
So this success has paved the way for more coming in the future, but I'm sure competition is also kicking in. So how do you see competition in this industry?
I know there are many companies that are trying to develop this AF vaccine with various technology. I think it's good for the market. The farmer have the good chance to use a safer or more effective vaccine in the future. However, in AVAC, we confident in our choice. We choose to develop the live vaccine because we have some advantage for live vaccine. We will continue this way. We confident that we have some best cell line and the data regarding the ASF vaccine.
Well, thank you very much for joining us today. Until recently, there had been no official global guidelines for African swine fever vaccines. But just this May, the World Organization for Animal Health released the very first international guidelines for this disease. This is a major turning point for the global livestock industry, especially for countries like Vietnam, one of the pioneers in ASF vaccine development. Stay tuned for the VTV News at 3 p.m. as we sit down with Dr. Anna Lacosta from the International Livestock Research Institute for a special talk on the world's first official ASF vaccine guidelines and what they mean for vaccine producers, regulators, and farmers worldwide.